know what Barack Obama's weakness is as a presidential candidate? The soundbite. And understandably so. I mean, the guy is a law professor. He's not going to give some little 20-second quip of an answer. Instead, he's going to give a thoughtful and nuanced response to every question posed to him. And frankly, sir, therein lies your weakness. For today's generation of American is raised on a lifetime of slogans and catchy jingles. But watch and learn, Obama, because this is how it's done.
Define success. When you say safety and the like, that's subjective, right? We might say we'll never be successful. It'll take 100 years till you're totally successful. How define
That's what they used to say about, Larry, that's what they used to say about crime in New York, right?
Whoa, Larry. That's what they used to say about crime in New York. Yup, apparently this election season, the personal catchphrases are coming out early. And former Mayor Rudy Giuliani seems to have found his in touting the reduction of crime that took place during his time as mayor of New York.
I took a city that was the crime capital of America. I made it safer than 189 small cities. I reduced shootings in New York City.
The result of this constant repetition? It's catching on. In fact, officially, that's what they used to say about crime in New York has surpassed Michael Scott's "That's What She Said" as the most common reply in business settings.
Wow, that is really hard.
That's what they used to say about crime in New York, right?
But what do you do when the sound bites aren't enough? When a catchphrase just doesn't carry the same weight with the GOP as it used to? You go after Hillary Clinton. While the GOP is split left, right, and in between in support of the various candidates, one thing they can all agree on: how much they hate Hillary. So what better way to garnish rapport than by forging a connection between Senator Clinton and, say, the MoveOn.org ads?
I was really upset with the attacks on General Petraeus' integrity that took place from MoveOn.org. I was really disappointed in Hillary Clinton's attack on the general's integrity, kind of joining in that, and her failure to condemn MoveOn.org.
Oh, that, sir, is a low blow. Now the Democrats, acting with the same dueling zeal that fueled the impetuous Aaron Burr, have responded to this attack on their leading lady by firing back with a much bigger gun. Well, not a gun, because that wouldn't fly with the liberal support groups, but with a much bigger, whatever the military equivalent is of global warming.
On this, and I'm going to play a little clip of what he said.
Iran is a greater danger than Iraq. Iraq cannot be seen in a vacuum, and we have to be willing to use a military option to stop Iran from becoming nuclear.
All right, what do you say to Giuliani?
He's foolish. I hope that he doesn't become president. And
Jimmy Carter? Fine, that's how you want to play, Democrats? That's how we'll play. You use a former Democratic president, we'll use a former Republican president. And I ain't talking about Daddy Bush either. I'm talking about Richard Nixon. And I know what you're thinking. Old Tricky Dick's been dead for a good 14 years. Well, not anymore. Recently, ABC broadcast recordings from the White House conveying President Nixon's opinion on who else but GOP candidate Fred Thompson.
Baker's appointed. Fred Thompson was non-elected counsel. Got the chair.
Well, don't hold back there, Richard. Don't you have anything positive to say about Fred Thompson? I mean, after all, a Republican can't speak too negatively about another Republican. That is the Ronald Reagan creed.
Our approach is now, we've got pretty good rapport with Fred Thompson. He came through Pine Fork this morning.
He's very smart.
Not extremely so, but he's friendly.
Well, there you go. He's dumb, but he's friendly. And that's what we all want in the Oval Office anyway, isn't it? Someone who's, maybe not as intellectual as the next guy, but just a cordial fella with, an approachable style and joking mannerisms. I mean, I don't think we've ever had something like that, but I can imagine it going fairly well. Anyway, with those two candidates out of the way, that leaves one more GOP frontrunner, former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney. Now, most recently, the former governor has fallen under criticism for his own criticism of Hillary Clinton's healthcare system. After all, there's some striking similarities between Hillary Care 2.0, as you dub it, and your own advocated healthcare system. In fact, recently, Mitt Romney was asked by Fox News to compare and contrast the two systems.
Well, that's like, comparing the, what's his name? What's the name of the guy on Fox, the evening?
Henry Combs?
No. Sinatra. Who was the terrible singer? Sanjay?
Sanjaya.
Sanjaya. There you go.
The guy
it's like
with the
comparing
hair.
Sanjaya and Sinatra. All right, they both sing, but they don't sing the same way.
Okay, so one is Sanjaya, and the other is Sinatra. So then the question that naturally stems from that is this. Which one are you, Governor Romney? And before you answer, let me caution you. Because if you answer incorrectly, you could very well be alienating untold thousands of Sanjaya supporters from your possible voter base. Well, actually I take that back. Because I've always had this lingering suspicion that it's the same people that voted for Sanjaya that will be voting for Ron Paul in the upcoming elections. Don't ask me how I know that, I just do. But anyway, Governor Romney went on to distinguish his plan from Hillary's in a number of different aspects. Most critically, it was the difference between federal versus state control, the difference between government versus private management, and also the increased tax that would come with Hillary's healthcare plan. But more importantly than all that, I have to ask you this, Governor Romney. In your plan, is there coverage for chronic swinging arm syndrome? Because I've heard that is really a killer among Boston security guards.
Mine is entirely different. Her plan is crafted by Washington. Mine is crafted by individual states. Her plan has government insurance. Mine has private insurance. Her plan raises taxes. Mine does not raise taxes. As a matter of fact, because all medical expenses are tax deductible in America.
What can I say? It's an epidemic. And sadly, there appears to be no cure in sight.
Hey, that's what they used to say about crime in New York, right?
Ooh, touche, Rudy. Touche. Apparently, this episode was brought to you by the ability to contrast two different things by signaling with my right hand and then with my left.